Yes, there is smoke because I'm smoking. I don't even know what this video is gonna be about. I just thought that I could share with you the fact that I got a job and this is my last day as an unemployed girl. Cheers. You know what it is and what gives me a bit of anxiety is the fact that I went October, September, November, December, January. Oh my goodness, 5 months. What did I do in 5 months while I was unemployed? I can only remember what I did last week. And I know that I did some things that I liked doing. For example, I made a video on the psychology of the unhinged woman. And that was really fun to do, and it took me a week. It did get 20 views, but honestly, it was a little bit disappointing, but I don't really care about that. I just had so much fun going through all those books. What else did I do? If I were to think now of what I did in these 5 months of being unemployed, I wouldn't know what to tell you. Okay, I read, but I also read a lot when I am employed, so that doesn't really count. Yeah, what gives me anxiety is this. Tomorrow, I'm starting a new job, and I haven't done anything in these past 5 months. But it's a new year. It's a new year, and I'm trying to be, more aware with my time and how I spend it. What is going on with my hair? The thing is also that I am a morning person. I like waking up really early in the morning at around 6 a.m. or 5 a.m. even sometimes. So the fact that I'll have a schedule again is gonna help me with waking up earlier and doing more things. But at the same time, there's also this fear that I'm not gonna get to do all the things that I want to do, even though I didn't do anything that I really wanted to do these past 5 months. I do want to talk to you about the books that I read in January. It's not the end of the month yet, I know, but I still read 4 books. I set a goal for myself this year to read 70 books, and for that I have to read about 6 books a month. I have 2 left to go in January, and I'm currently reading An Anthropologist on Mars by Oliver Sacks. I have read Gratitude from him 4 years ago. I really enjoyed that. The thing is that that book is about himself learning to accept, I think. I forgot really because it's been so long, but learning to accept the idea of dying. I actually wrote it down. Something, cancer, I can't pronounce that word. Cancer in the eye. Wait, ocular melanoma. He died of that, if I'm not mistaken. Please let me not be mistaken. He was a neurologist, a writer, he was everything. And this book, An Anthropologist on Mars, is about 7 cases of weird diseases, or not necessarily weird. For example, this first one was about a 65-year-old man, a painter, who had an accident, and after that accident he couldn't see colors anymore. All that he saw was black, white, and gray. So that's really fucked up for a painter to have to deal with. So he speaks about all of these cases, 7 cases of diseases that these people go through, and they find other ways to learn things or go through life. I don't know, it's really interesting. And this particular recommendation I did get from Anna Wallace Johnson's channel. She has great taste. I do want to read more of that book today, even though I don't know when I'm gonna find the time and the energy to do that, because I have been obsessed with thrifting. Today I went thrifting for 4 hours straight, and I found a couple of things I'm gonna show you. I found this that I'm wearing right now. Anyways, I've been obsessed with thrifting. I have been watching thrifting videos all the time and spending time on Pinterest, spending time on Vinted, and I haven't really been focused on reading. And I feel like these things happen to me sometimes, but very rarely when I find something that excites me more than reading. And when that happens, I tell myself, whoa, slow down. You don't want to unbalance yourself. You gotta find a way to get back to reading, even though it's been only a week max since I haven't finished the book, which is not that long. But for me, it does feel a little long because I haven't even been really reading at the pace that I usually am reading at, and that makes me feel a little bit guilty. But I don't know, I do want to point out the fact that this 70 books challenge for 2016, I was gonna say, for 2026, this reading challenge is not intended to make me feel guilty for not reading, even though that's inevitable, but I'm trying not to let it affect me. What it is meant to do, though, is to make me feel focused and less distracted, because I do want to not spend time on YouTube Shorts or Instagram or whatever. I do mostly spend time on YouTube Shorts. I don't really spend time on Instagram. But I don't want to get distracted by these things, so having a goal of how many books to read in a year or a month helps me a lot. It does make me feel like I'm focused on something and that I don't have any time to waste. Even though I do want to be the person and the girlfriend that watches a lot of movies with her partner, I feel so serious when I say that, her lover, her significant other. Yeah, I do want to be a chill girlfriend. You know what I'm saying? But I do feel like I have a little bit of a mental problem with that. I feel like I can never really stay still. I feel like I always have to be productive. I always have to make myself feel like this is gonna sound weird. It's gonna sound weird because I don't believe it, but every psychologist would tell me that. I do feel like I don't deserve to take up space if I don't do something productive. And again, I don't believe that in the way that I said that, not at all. But I mean, don't get me wrong, like I do enjoy a day when I only watch TV and maybe I read a little bit and order something, take a bath. I don't do anything special in that day. I can only enjoy that day if it comes after I do something important. And I used to have a time in my life when I used to want to do something really big every day, even if that was to write a really good poem or what I thought was a really good poem, or to try to paint a little something even though I suck at painting, to watch the greatest movie of all time, or to do my fucking best at work. I don't fucking know, but in my mind, I always had to do something great every day. And I don't know, I do feel like I still have that, and I do feel a little sense of disappointment when I don't do something great, which is now most of the time. I don't really do like great things anymore. And you don't need to do something great daily. You don't. You need to enjoy yourself, do the things that you like. But I was trying to push myself. I don't know what to tell you. I'm trying to push myself. And no, if you're wondering, this is not a job that I think will, I don't know, complete me in any way. I do think I will take a lot of good from it, but it's not the greatest job ever. But I think it'll help me again. At least I can buy more books and thrift more, I guess. Anyways, let me show you what else I got from the thrift store today. So I got this, which is great. Not really my style, but I'm kind of redeveloping my style right now, okay? I wouldn't usually buy a blouse that has this detail in here. I would usually just get a striped blouse and that would be it, but I am developing my style, okay? I got this, and it has camel hair, 50% camel hair, and 50% wool. Oh, let me also tell you the prices because that's interesting. $2, almost $2. I got this Calvin Klein skirt that I'm intending to sell, because another thing that I want to focus on whenever I go to the thrift is if I do get something for myself or for my boyfriend, I want to be able to make that money back, so I do get a little something else in order to sell it on Vinted to get the money back for all the things that I bought for ourselves. This skirt from Calvin Klein, which is a little stained. I'm gonna have to take the stains out. Another beautiful thing that unfortunately makes me look like a rectangle. Is that a shape? Rectangle. It's 80% wool. It's made in Hong Kong and it's a really cool dress and it has a hood and I love it, but unfortunately it fits me like not a glove. Not a glove. No, no. Next. Oh, that one, the dress was $2. Oh, and the skirt, the Calvin Klein skirt was Kelvin. I don't know why I say Kelvin. The Calvin, that's more American. The Calvin Klein skirt was $2. This skirt, which I thought was gonna fit me because it has this, but it doesn't fit. It doesn't fit. This was $5. I did spend $5 on that. I don't know what was in my head. I keep watching American girls buy things for like $16 and saying it's so cheap. Girl, $16 for me is probably a day's worth of work or two days worth of work. I don't know. Another $2. This one, which is so cute, selling on Vinted, does not fit me. And when I got home, our neighbor is pretty weird. I never met him, but he always leaves out, I mean, it's a big family in there. They always leave out things, trash, right by their doorstep whenever they think someone's gonna take it. But they also leave just usual trash by their doorstep when they don't want to go down and throw it out. Last time they left a mini guitar, which we took, but we didn't clean it. I just realized it. Am I gonna clean it? No, not right now. Should I? I should. They left 3 paintings, which my boyfriend I think is gonna paint on. But anyway, it's pretty interesting. This is the first one, and this is the second one in the same vibe. Which one do you prefer? That's gonna be a thumbnail. Pretty cool. I think their kid did this. Really cool. Which one should we keep? I think this. And then a big one. This one is ugly. I don't know what's going on in there. Look at the mouth. I have also been neglecting my water intake. Really neglecting it. When I used to like my job and work at the bookstore, I used to drink a lot of water. Actually, at my last job, I did that too. So why did I say that when I used to like my job, I used to drink a lot of water? I don't know. That must say something about me. I do need to focus more on drinking a lot more water because I've been getting pimples. Yesterday, I went to an interview with this pimple right here, white. It was white and it was gross. I tried to pop it, but it hurt me, so I stopped. But I do think a lot of these new pimples come from, I don't know, lack of good nutrition, and I haven't been taking care of myself as well lately, as well as I used to. This is what I see in front of me. Just looking at those paintings, I need to start exercising. And why do I say that? Just to let you in on my thought process. I bought a protein drink yesterday and I drank it, and I realized I have to do yoga again, but 30-minute yoga, more like, I don't know, more of a hot yoga, because I don't want all that protein to go to waste. I really need to tone up. It's something that I think about every day. And one of my friends told me that I look really good for my age. I'm just 24. The thing is that I'm not really hungry anymore. Before, I used to be hungry almost all the time, and I used to try to stop myself from eating too much. When I look now at the portions I used to eat back then, they were 3 times bigger than what I eat now. If I don't start my morning with a cup of coffee and a cigarette, it's not right. And then I don't get hungry at all until 12 p.m., which I don't think is good. It's not good. It for sure isn't good. I feel really a little bit alienated because of this new job that I have. I haven't even started yet, and I already think that I'm gonna be a little bit off because it doesn't suit who I am necessarily. But I don't want to quit because I do want to have money. Who would have thought? As little as it is, it's still okay. And the thing is that I don't want to be in the situation again where I don't have a job and I'm trying to do my own things, thinking that maybe I could get some money from my own things, but I don't do much. What can I get money from? Selling a skirt on Vinted? I'm gonna get $4 on that as profit. I don't know what I'm thinking. I want to show you the rest of the books that I read or started in this month. So I told myself that I was gonna start the year with my favorite book that I already read last year, Stoner by John Williams. I am on page 38. I just couldn't enjoy it as much as I did the first time, because the first time I read it, I woke up at 5 a.m. and it was only me and the book and no distractions. But again, I haven't been waking up that early anymore, so it's really hard for me to get as connected to the book as I got the first time. So I put it on hold for a little bit. The next book is The Power of Your Subconscious Mind by Joseph Murphy, which I already read once. So this is another reread. I'm on page 50 of this. I like starting my year with a self-help spiritual book. Sue me. It doesn't help me, or it does, in ways that I can't comprehend. I don't know. Now, with the books that I have finished this month, this little booklet. These are 2 speeches by Albert Camus. It is called Create Dangerously, and I couldn't tell you what it's about now. I couldn't. I didn't write anything about it. When the artist chooses to share the fate of all, he asserts the individual he is, and he cannot escape from this ambiguity. It's basically a book on creativity, I guess. I don't know, I have nothing in my mind right now. The second book I finished is this poetry book by Paul Verlaine. One of my favorite poems of all time is, I don't know what it's called in English. Maybe It Rains on the Town. Il pleure dans mon cœur. I can't speak French. I picked this book up only because I thought that poem would be in this, but it isn't. But I found other good poems. And it is half French, half Romanian, but I didn't read the French parts, even though I do want to learn French, and even though I did set as my goal this year to read 3 books or 2 books in 2 different languages, French and Italian. I only read the Romanian part of this. First of all, crazy guy. He left his wife. He was gay, apparently, and hooked up and had a relationship with another poet, another French poet that I can't remember the name of right now. They wrote poems about each other. Also, I think he shot the other guy in the wrist while they had an argument. A little bit of an Oscar Wilde drama here, okay? The next book I finished is not the one that I just picked up, it's another one. Aspects of the Novel by E.M. Forster. Oh my goodness, do I love myself. Me. Do I love me some E.M. Forster. Edward Morgan Forster. You were something. Another gay dude, if you didn't know. I fucking adore him. I read The Machine Stops years ago on this side, and I loved it. It is a very short book. It's a short story. This one analyzes the novel, and he has many opinions on many authors and many novels. It's so interesting, but you know what it is? He talks about so many writers and so many novels that I would want to read in the future that I basically didn't understand anything, and I got a couple of spoilers, but I have a lot of notes on it. For example, beauty at which a novelist should never aim, though he fails if he does not achieve it. A man does not talk to himself quite truly, not even to himself. The happiness or misery that he secretly feels proceed from causes that he cannot quite explain, because as soon as he raises them to the level of the explicable, they lose their native quality. I do want to read more from him, but I tried reading... What was the other book that I had? I tried reading Where Angels Fear to Tread. I just heard something in the kitchen, and I didn't like it. I did not like it. He examines the novel perfectly, okay, but I did not like his novel. I loved The Machine Stops. I don't know, I have to give Where Angels Fear to Tread a second chance, definitely. I wasn't fully in on it. And the last book that I finished this month was As a Man Thinketh by James Allen. My third read, I think it is. I don't know, I marked it only once before on Goodreads, but I do think I read it more than once before. I don't know, I really like this book. And also this and another book that I find really helpful in this sense of betterment of oneself is 10 Basic Rules for Better Living. I don't know who the author is, I forgot. Manly P. Hall, is that it? I don't know. He was kind of weird from what I understand. But this 10 Basic Rules for Better Living, such a good one that I always come back to. And this as well, I always come back to this. It's just so beautiful. Because as I said, I do read spiritual books and self-help books at the beginning of the year. I just get this feeling that I have to become better. Can I make myself look a bit more pretty, do you think? That's another thing that I've been thinking about. How can I look more pretty on camera? I don't wear makeup, but I don't know, I started to put a little lip something on so I can make myself look a little bit better. Because I do look at my face and I tell myself I could look better than I do. I just have to use a little bit of makeup. But I think I just have to take care of myself. Yeah. I don't know what to say more about the subject. I have been going through this feeling of, I don't know, I'm really lucky now, but before, when I first moved to Bucharest, I felt that I am alone and that I have to fend for myself, that I have to take any job that I can get. And I've been pretty lucky with the jobs that I've had. I worked in a bunch of bookstores, and the last job that I had was okay-ish, but I hated it and made my life miserable. It made me miserable. This one that I just got sounds a little more comfortable, but I do have to be there physically every day, which I'm not used to anymore. Before I met my boyfriend, I was just in a constant state of uncertainty, and I was really scared. I didn't know what was gonna happen with my life. Every time I felt like it got too, I don't know, overwhelming or something with my job, I just quit. And if I didn't have money put aside, I had to move back to my parents, which was really fucked up. Actually, once, there was this time in my life when I found this job at a bookstore, and I pretty much gave up on going to university because I didn't have any money to pay my bills and my rent. So I had to choose one or the other. I didn't go to uni anymore. I just went to work because my parents didn't pay my bills. I had to choose. But also at the same time, I think I could have done a little bit better if I was more involved. Maybe I could have done both at the same time. Now, I know this video is a bit chaotic and all over the place, but it's just because I really want to post something before my first day of work again. And I did enjoy filming this a lot. I feel like I was a lot more, I don't know, honest, if you will. And I do like being honest on camera. It makes me feel good. Because another thing that I do, oh my goodness, let me tell you. Ever since I was little, ever since I got my first phone with a camera, I used to do vlogs, right? I used to wake up and film myself and talk about my feelings and whatever and what I did throughout the day. And I also used to edit videos because I thought it was fascinating to be able to edit. I would change outfits and then I would spin and they would change. I do love talking to the camera about my feelings, but I usually do that on my phone. When I put a camera in front of me, it gets a lot more serious because I know people are gonna hear, and I don't like that. But I do like that. Is it what I really wanted? Is it truly? Maybe this is what I truly wanted. I have to take photos of the clothes that I showed you and put them on Vinted. Actually, I'm gonna do a new thing. I'm gonna Photoshop a background just so that they look more profesh. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I can get a little more cash. And I have to take a bath because, babes, going to the thrift for 4 hours straight is not an easy task, especially when you carry a big bag with you. And then I have to edit this video just a little bit and put it out there. And I want to make some pasta tonight. And we are watching The Village, the movie. We have 40 minutes left. It's such a good movie. And Joaquin Phoenix is amazing. I hope he doesn't die. Oops, spoiler. Bye-bye.